Are you looking for the best GPS watches? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best GPS watches on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Garmin Forerunner 255 Music Running Watch. Quick take, an update to a tried and true GPS running watch that now tracks triathlons and has dual frequency reception for better accuracy. Why we like it? If you've been a devoted fan of the Garmin Forerunner 200 series, this is an upgrade worth making. The Forerunner 255 Music now comes in 2 sizes, 41mm and 46mm, as well as versions that play music or don't. Regardless what flavor you choose, the 255 is still among the most fully featured GPS running watches, making it one of the best values. The price has risen $50 this year, but we think it's a fair jump given the 255 supports triathletes for the first time. Triathlon mode automatically adjusts your displays to show you the right metrics for your activity, plus tracks transition times. The biggest new feature, however, is the multi-band reception, which allows the watch to receive 2 signals from a satellite simultaneously to filter out any inaccurate data points. We find this watch tracks as accurately as any other. What we don't like, the new 265's AMOLED display, while needing more power to operate, is a lot easier to read at a glance, especially when the glare of the sun comes into play. The 255 is still plenty legible, but it requires some squinting on a bright day. Number 2. Apple Watch Ultra 2 Smartwatch. Why we like it? Is the Apple Watch Ultra 2 a Garmin killer? Well, probably not, but it represents the tech giant's most formidable sports watch that can hang with premium adventure trackers from Garmin and Coros. The 49mm titanium case is larger than standard Apple Watches and houses a bigger battery that can last up to 36 hours of mixed use, daily activity tracking, smartwatch functions, and a jog. It'll have enough juice to get you through a marathon or Ironman with GPS, heart rate, and wireless streaming music. The Apple Watch Ultra got a minor refresh this year, with some internal updates that make the watch faster and the screen brighter. Apple also revealed a new feature that lets you double tap your forefinger and thumb to initiate actions, like answering a phone call. That's not super useful for runners, but the action button remains, allowing you to quickly fire up the workout app and start a run or take lap splits. This makes it much easier to use when you're running with gloves. Plus, it still has dual-frequency GPS, leveraging a second signal from satellites to greatly increase accuracy. Add a cellular plan, and you can use the watch like a phone and have full access to the Apple Music library when you leave your iPhone behind. What we don't like, if you have an Android, you're out of luck trying to pair this watch with your phone. watchOS simply isn't compatible. You can use both devices independently without losing run tracking capabilities, but this watch shines its brightest when you can use its smartwatch functionalities. Number 3. Korros Apex 2 Running Watch. Quick take, an elite GPS watch for running and triathlons that has a long battery life and an intermediate price. Why we like it? Packing precise GPS tracking and lasting battery life into a compact package, the Korros Apex 2 is a top-tier multi-sport watch for beginners and elites alike. The Apex 2 keeps the many metric combinations found in the Pace 3, the brand's most affordable sports watch, while integrating some exciting new features that runners will embrace. Notably, battery life is up to 45 hours in regular GPS tracking mode. It also gives you a slew of metrics you can view over 5 screens during your workout, including data tracking sensors that show your heart rate, body temperature, and pulse. What we don't like, compared to the other watches on this list, syncing workouts takes ages. The Coros app simply isn't as easy to use as competing brands' apps, and it adds steps that may feel unnecessary, especially when you're hooped from a hard run and just trying to look at your stats. Number 4. Apple Watch Series 8 Smartwatch. Quick take, popular smartwatch gets minor updates but keeps the bigger, easy-to-read display. Why we like it? The omnipresent smartwatch got some nips and tucks for version 8. Apple Watch Series 8 now includes a wrist-based temperature sensor that women can use for a retrospective estimate of when they ovulated. Apple also has increased crash detection to include automobile collisions, monitoring for side impact, rear end, and rollover crashes. It keeps the larger display, 1 mm bigger than that on the Series 6. That, combined with thinner borders and a rounded edge, makes it easy to read data when on the move, for example, the tiny time of day in the top right corner when the Workouts app is running. The glass is Apple's most crack-resistant front crystal. The watch still comes in two sizes, 41 mm and 45 mm. And it still includes fall detection and ECG, features that have been around a couple of years now. Runners in particular will like the always-on display, so you don't have to exaggeratedly lift your arm to peek at your pace. That was introduced on the Series 5, though indoor performance was made even brighter with Series 7. Number 5. Garmin Enduro 2 Running Watch. Why we like it? The Garmin Enduro 2 is no longer a stripped-down version of the Phoenix for the sake of longer battery life. The newest version of the ultra-endurance watch nearly doubles the battery life of the first Enduro during activity, and lasts for 120 hours in normal GPS mode with optical heart rate active. Video producer Pat Heine-Homburg used the watch for a month and a half, with GPS tracking on regular training runs and bike commuting to the office, as well as a 15-hour run in the Alps with navigation. He only had to recharge the watch once. And it's easy to fine-tune battery performance to your adventures, if you need even longer run time. The menu makes it easy to know how many hours you'll gain or lose by turning different sensors on and off. Daily use features like Garmin Pay, music apps, and a touch screen really make it a tool of convenience on the go. For trail adventures and ultra racing, the Enduro 2 now has access to more satellite systems, and multi-band GPS, like the 255 above, topo maps for navigation, and even a decent flashlight that is bright enough to use as an emergency backup if your headlamp fails on the trail. What we don't like: nylon straps are great for comfort and breathability, but be warned, if you're getting properly sweaty with this watch on your arm for days at a time, we can't save you from the funk that will near inevitably emanate from it.